How many of you have been to a water park? I'm going to assume most of you have, at least once. Here in Miami, we have the privilege of having sunshine all year round. And what better way to enjoy it than by going to a water park? There's one in particular that is full of art on every corner. Art of children playing and sea creatures made out of shapes and bright colors. Extremely eye-catching. This art that distracts us from our fun is none other than the art by Romero Britto. With that being said, my name is Hira Nieves, and I will be discussing the artist Romero Britto. To better understand the artist, first I will discuss his early life, second his art style, and finally the message he tries to portray through his work. So let's begin by looking at his early life. Now, Britto has very humble beginnings that start in childhood and extend to his adult years. According to Art Business News, his childhood was a difficult one. He was born in 1963 and was born and raised in Recife, Brazil. He was born into a family of 9 children and he was the 7th. He and his siblings were raised by a single mother and had very little money. Britto mentions that art got him through the darkest moments of his childhood. According to art bios, the use of bright colors caused him to have a positive outlook, as well as caused him to appreciate the little he had and what his family could afford. According to Art Business News, the positive attitude he had as a child continued into adult life and continues to try to spread positivity through his charitable foundations. Britto began his career at an early age. At the age of 14, he had his art showcased at an exhibition held by the Organization of American States. He received honors and praise for his work. He did not believe that this was a realistic job, so he decided to not pursue it even though it was his passion. He went on to study law at a Catholic university in Pernambuco, Brazil, and realized he was destined to paint, moving to Europe to study art. In order to make his mark in the artistic world, he decided to move to Miami in 1988. According to Siena Fine Art, he received recognition as an international artist during this time. He has obtained partnerships with well-noticed brands such as Absolute Vodka, Apple, Disney, Pepsi, and many more. Now that we got a glimpse of Britto before fame, let's look at his art style. His artwork is a mixture of different mediums and art styles. Britto combines pop art and cubism to compose his work. Cubism is quite unique and very complex, but Britto is able to mix it with others to make it his own. Pop art is used to contrast the dark world around him, using colors like reds and yellow. Yellow is his favorite color, and yellow is associated with positivity. He uses yellow to contrast those colors that are associated with negativity. His artwork also uses different mediums to make his images come to life. Like many artists, he explored different mediums, experimented with many. According to art bios, he began using watercolor, pen, and ink to create his images. He moved on to acrylics, serigraphy, and lithography. And in order to put more of himself, he used his finger painting to create his masterpieces. Finally, let's have a look into the message Britto is trying to convey through his art. The message he tries to portray is a message of being an optimist and having a positive outlook on the future. Britto Center Incorporation has mentioned that Britto has created a language based on hope and happiness. on hope and happiness. A language that has inspired many through his art. It is also a universal language created by a boy who was just trying to see the brighter side of life. Now, Britto takes in the world and tries to create an open-minded and optimistic view of it. Many art connoisseurs have felt the love and positivity through his art. According to the Siena Fine Art, colorful images allow him to deliver subtle yet potent messages about joy and hope. Britto is someone who knows hardships and he wants to ease those hardships for people through his art. Britto, though humble beginnings, bold artistic work, and an optimistic view of the world, has been able to instill hope in many internationally. Romero Britto did not have the brightest childhood, but seemed to find light during the darkest of times. He dedicated his life to spreading positivity, and he continues to do that, especially here in South Florida. Through water parks and bright colors on the walls of Wynwood, he has able to instill positivity. Hopefully, just like Britto did, you're able to find light within the darkness. Thank you.